expectations when the record was all done, before anyone else had heard it? What did you think was going to happen with this CD?
I think from the moment we kind of started recording the CD, we knew it was going to be something special. Myself and my co-producers, Track and Field, Gerald and Brian. Especially when we made the demo tape. We kind of knew we had tapped into something really special. Of course, when you work on something really hard, you're really proud of it. And so that's all you can do, really. There's no guarantees. So from my end, I knew all I could do was work very hard on the CD, do my best, and let fate direct, you know, the rest of the story.
When you say it felt special, and what was different about it than everything else you're hearing on the radio?
I think a big thing is the fact that the generation I come from, the fact that I just turned 22 and it's out, so a lot of the songs were written when I was 18, 19, 20. There's that transition from kind of teenager to adulthood. There's that confusion and energy embodied in the CD, that sort of defiance, that youthfulness. I think it's a young person's musical diary, really. You're not only hearing a young person as a performer, but you're hearing a young person as an artist, with a voice, with something to say, with a hand in all the musical elements. It embodies like everything I've been a part of my whole life, and I think it kind of embodies the whole hip-hop generation in a way, the way that hip-hop has changed music and how it's going to change music for the future. And it's a little bit of sort of a hint at a direction, a musical direction for the future, I think.
Well, for sure, mainstream radio in North America is used to hearing from very young artists, but we're used to hearing from people like Britney Spears and projecting that kind of an image and that kind of a sound. When you look around at the people of your age and what they're doing, what do you see and what do you think of that stuff?
I think there's a lot of artists my age who are doing real creative stuff. I think even there's bands coming out of America and England. There's a couple. There's a lot of great stuff coming out right now. It's just on the cusp of changing, I think. The stuff that's out now is great too in its own way. You know what I mean? There's the great performance element has kind of been brought to the forefront again. The entertainment element of the music business, the glamour and everything like that. I think songs, as a result, have gotten tighter and stronger. I think the arrangements of pop songs have gotten stronger. I also think that people have become less aware of genres. And I know kids today, you know, they'll have an Eminem record, a Britney Spears record, and a Korn record because they're oblivious to genres now. They listen to everything. It kind of reflects the multiculturalism of the world and the way the world's coming together that way through the internet, internationalism. I think it's real positive.
A lot has been made of the fact that you're Portuguese in the press. How do you think does that filter into your music somehow?
Oh, totally. It's a huge part of both my identity and my musical identity. I think starting from when I was a child, singing in Portuguese before singing in English, performing in Portuguese, and really connecting with that language, is, you know, emoting in Portuguese. And I was always very aware of my culture. I was very involved. I did folkloric dancing. I sang in Portuguese. I read the Mass in Portuguese, you know, Portuguese Mass, service, all the festivals. Also, learning to read, write, and speak Portuguese from a young age. I went to Portuguese school, even though we spoke English at home. So there was always that nice balance. Also, as a teenager, going to Portugal and as a child, visiting Portugal as well. Excuse me. But the key trip to Portugal was when I was 16. And I discovered modern Portuguese music that was coming out of Lisbon. Different bands like Madre de Deus, Os Delfins, different rock bands. And I had an even greater pride in being Portuguese because there was great modern stuff, not just the folkloric and the fado stuff I'd grown up listening to, but something fresh and new and forward. And I totally wanted that on my CD. I think I've just tapped into the Portuguese a bit, but also more so the Brazilian elements, like all the rhythm that I've put kind of under a pop umbrella on my record. In the future, even more so. I don't want to tap into that. But it's very important to me. Heritage is very important.
This first CD has come out, and already you are being accepted as a very accomplished musician, and it's you know, great critical acclaim for the record. Does that put a kind of pressure on you when you say, look, thinking it's my first CD, like I've got a lot of growing to do, and yet you're being presented as, you know, a finished artist? Does that
finished?
Not finished, but you know, as a polished gem. Do you